on Acolyte with the ZvT. Top right hand side from Psystorm Gaming, our Red Zerg player. Give it up, guys, if you're going to be cheering on JonSnow. You can hashtag JonSnow in the chat to show your support if you're cheering him on. You can also hashtag Pokebunny. To the bottom left hand side, our purple Terran player. The Eligulac point discussion has been broken out. Okay, well now you know it's serious. These guys have their Eligulac points in mind. You know, screw who finishes where in the tournament. If you get yourself your Eligulac points, that's what's really gonna matter, right? Setting up here, Acolyte. JonSnow's map picked Interloper for map number 2. Will be interesting to see what Pokebunny cracks out after opening so aggressively against Jake in Game 2 of their series. In Game 1, that 2-base all in as well. So getting ready to roll. Again, thank you so much for joining us today, guys. Again, it's been a really awesome night of StarCraft 2. Really have been enjoying this event the last couple of days. And you guys are continuing to help make it awesome, being given some great viewer peaks, etc. It really has been going super, super awesomely. So really have been having a great time. Hopefully you guys have been having a great time as well. Hopefully you guys have been having a fantastic time. And again, we're back tomorrow, Group C of the competition. Group C is kind of stacked. Puck, Drunken Boy, Bio Ice, and Creature are going to be playing tomorrow. Full on NA group. Going to be a lot of fun. Group D on Friday. We're off Thursday. We're not going to be casting. But we're back Friday with Group D, which will now feature Keen, Semper, Risky, and Stun. It's actually a pretty stacked group now that Keen has joined and replaced Future. He can't play on Friday and was unable to play today or was unable to get back to me in time to play today to replace Keen. On the day he maybe could have played. A little bit of a shame, but it's the way things go. As we set up into this Game 1 of the best of 3. And of course, playoffs are Saturday and Sunday. We'll be starting 3 hours early on the weekend for the playoffs. Just bring it into a bit more of an EU-friendly time zone, just to keep some of my EU fans happy. Make sure I don't lose all of my European subscribers. Please, guys, I need some of you. I need some of your love. We're just going to move it a bit early, but obviously it's Saturday and Sunday, so you guys should be hopefully able to tune in anyway for the most part. VODs are readily available as well anyways. They're available almost instantly on Twitch, and we don't put them behind a subwall or anything, so if you do miss any matches, you can check them out for free on Twitch, and they will go up on youtube.com/WardiTV as well. Over the next week or so, we've got WardiTV weekly uploads going in over the next few days on YouTube. For the next 4 days, I think, starting tomorrow. And so after that, we're going to be uploading the WardiTV America's Open. Basically starting on the weekend, so look forward to that. Wow, Pokebunny getting all of the love in the chat right now. Not a single hashtag JonSnow. Hashtag Pokebunnies from Rim, Lots of Esports, Widowmines, Hayden, Dr. Dotson, Von Schleyer, Rujig, we got Early Toss, Envision Spartacus, Ian H01. Everyone is cheering Pokebunny. Everybody in the chat cheering Pokebunny right now. JonSnow. Not a single bit of love. I kind of want Jig to advance because I think it'd be funny if Fear Dragon opened the stream with a resub that said Go Rotty and JonSnow, and neither of them advanced. Because then we could blame Fear Dragon, we could call it the Fear Dragon curse, and that'd be a good meme, wouldn't it? Fear Dragon curses only NA players if he cheers them on. I'd love it. That'd be brilliant. Only in NA events can the Fear Dragon curse be activated, so it's not quite the Artosis curse, you know? Just the Fear Dragon curse. No, honestly, it's a rough situation not being able to drop a map here. JonSnow playing super carefully, sacrificing an Overlord to scout and everything. You'll see the Tech Lapless Starport is a big indicator that this is obviously a medevac or so initially, so some kind of initial pressure which you should be aware of. Setting up into this and looking to see where things are going to go. Cloak on the way up for this Banshee, a few Queens on the way out as well. A few more Zerglings also on the way up at the moment. Setting up in towards this, looking to see how things continue. As we do have the couple of Hellions. Reaper moving around. Hey, we got our first hashtag JonSnow in the chat. He's got a solid 7% of the vote right now. Doesn't look like a lot, but it's something. It's better than before. Dan and Beard for JonSnow cheer. We'll bring that hashtag game back in a little bit. There's Fear Dragon himself, hashtagging JonSnow. No, some love has to be given. Anyways, Hellions going to try and dive on in, and initially these drones are going to start splitting. The Lings are without speed. It's actually been a bit of a greedy opening without speed here and gas for a while from our Zerg player, but he's going to be able to clean this up anyways with some good surrounds. 4 workers killed so far, considering it was very heavy on the drones initially. To make a bit of a difference as these queens continue to come on through. And you can see those queens coming back in. Nice defense from JonSnow. There's a lot more JonSnow hashtags coming into the chat there, guys. It's now a 40-60 race on the love in the chat. A couple more drones just going to pop out over here. And it's going to be seeing Eva Chamber from JonSnow. A couple of them setting up in towards his upgrades as he moves forwards. Lings will get rid of this Riddle Mine just before it goes off for a second time. Again, JonSnow pretty much so very nicely deals with this. Banshee comes into the third base here, though. The Spore's in a bit of an odd position to try and catch the Medevac, etc. So it's not the best of locations to actually deal with this Banshee. Spore will now take the chance to relocate into a bit more of a stable position so he can get back to mining with the workers.
So workers getting back to mining. Lings coming through the center of the map. +1 melee on the way up from JonSnow. 1-1 starting as well from Pokebunny. The upgrades are looking to be fairly even. Pokebunny even going to be playing a third command center here. See these Lingers coming up the ramp and a little bit of nibbling on the depots and on the reactor. And these SCVs coming over and going to be able to repair up this Medevac. So, at the same time, actually, a couple more drones going down. Just a Banshee, I imagine, find another location to poke and prod in. Looks as though it could get picked off, or was it this Banshee here? No, I think it was the first Banshee, which is now dead. So, one Banshee down. Ling's getting another Hellion or two, and now just pulling back towards the upper right. Is the free base openers done as ZvT nowadays? Asks Danenbeard. Yeah, for ZvT, you pretty much always open free hatchery very early on in the game. There's not really a lot of reason to delay your third base. The only real reason would be kind of if you want to rush like a 2-base lair or go for a very aggressive roach all-in or something. It's very rarely that you don't kind of go into the third hatch, and even a lot of all-ins actually even make a third hatch to fall back on, so maybe that's a bit more in ZvP, but it's very rare you see a Zerg player playing without the third hatchery. Going to be seeing these 2 Medevacs loading up from Pokebunny. He's going to push across here, but I think JonSnow in such a comfortable position already. He's up on 75 workers. He's got, 25 to 34 army supply, Hydra Den and Balin Nest dropping down here from JonSnow as well at the moment. I mean, he's just at this point where he's about to spam out a lot of units. He'll get his Bane and Hydra speed at the same time, and once he's got those up, it really is going to be a very powerful position for JonSnow to play in, right? He just makes the units he wants to make. It becomes very simple from there, although this dropping towards the natural at the moment might be a little bit of a pain. 1-1 about to finish. The Marines are not going to be in a nice little position behind the mineral line. JonSnow starts to lose a few drones. Meanwhile, this Banshee poking its way through that 4th base, and well, a few Banes definitely couldn't come fast enough right here to try and help out cleaning out these Marines. Medevacs will come in and they will get rid of the... Queens will come in and get rid of the Medevacs perhaps. They need to target down the Medevacs, I think, because if he doesn't, he gets into a little bit of a problem with the position, as we do see Marines getting blown up by Balians. 10 drones have gone down in this attack. Pokebunny is pushed back, but it wasn't simple, this defense from JonSnow. And so that kind of luxury, kind of comfort stage of the game I was just talking about, he's not there just yet as he makes a few more upgrades, 2-2 on the way for him, as he sets up into the later stages of his game. As Medevac pulling back in towards the center. A couple of Queens pushing forwards and Creep Tumors will drop down. Zerglings also gathering up in the center here. Continue to get set up into this. Hive on the way down now. JonSnow getting ready to go into the 4-base Hive play. No reason to slow down on Acolyte, right? I mean, Lingbane Hydra is great, but it's a very defensive map, and so you can't be overly aggressive with it. So why not start setting up in towards your later stages of the game already? You can defend very easily, and that's exactly what JonSnow is looking to start utilizing here in this game number 1. Remember, Pokebunny has to just win 1 map to finish atop of this group and to knock JonSnow out of the competition. Drones going down. Queens do grab just that Banshee right there. But you see the 2 Medevacs of Pokebunny loading up. 2 more drops going across the map to try and do a little bit more here. And we're going in towards the upper right-hand side. One more Zerglin around the left. Ah, free base before pool. Okay, so the free hatch before pool, sorry, I didn't realize that was what you're asking. That is a bit different. Free hatch before pool isn't really a thing right now. It's usable on Acolyte as Mutas come in and intercept this drop. This is really nice. Going to get 1 Medevac. Oh, he used to kill the Medevacs. No! The Marines are all going to unload. I mean, he's going to kill the Medevacs, but it costs him a couple of meters in the end. I mean, in the end, it's still kind of nice. Ooh, nice target fire by Pokebunny, though, to make the most of those Marines. Just to quickly answer your question, Dan B, because it's Acolyte,
you have this in-base expansion, so it's still not common, and you saw you actually had a little bit of trouble with the Hellions, but it's much easier to defend these 3 bases than it would be on most other maps, because one of them is in-base, and so it's kind of just like defending 2 bases, so it's kind of easy to hold even if you're without gas for a little while longer than usual, is basically the idea. So that is why he probably opened with it on this base. Free hatch before pool is not really a common thing at all in ZvT, never really has been. It's usable, like it's heard of, but it's not used every single day. You'd see, you'd see maybe 3 or 4 times a month. And you're going to be seeing these Marines stimming, and a Mutalisk taking some damage. He's just poking and prodding, trying to find some openings, but finding nothing just yet as this army comes across from Pokebunny. What's interesting is I did make the Hydro Den originally, but never used it, and switched it up in towards these Mutalisks. Actually going to find themselves a few trailing Marauders trying to reinforce at the moment here. Marauder does go down, and you're going to see the Mutants just going to fly on in. A couple of Marines going to get picked away at. Still just going to be seeing Pokebunny coming up towards the top side, and again the Zerglings just going to have to pull back. A few SCVs going down as Bailings. I say a few, there's 12. A lot of damage done in this natural mineral line. JonSnow setting up defensively up here with a lot of the Ling Bane. The siege tanks are not the best against Ling Bane Muta though. Generally he probably built this because he was expecting to play against Hydras. JonSnow going to maybe try and buy time for the what does he buy time for though actually? The Ultras? It's a long time to buy if he needs tightness plating too. He's going to give up this hatchery and he's just going to take this one to the other side instead. Just going to kind of basically swap 4 hatches. It just gives him a little bit more time to get those Ultras out, the upgrade for the Ultras, etc. Oh wow, no defense in this base of course because the Banes took down the missile turret before, and now these Mutants will continue to do a lot of damage. This missile turret building should go down, and he's doing a very good job of continuing to pick away at the Marines as they come out 1 or 2 at a time. And now this missile turret's still not building as Pokebunny going to pull back from the top side. The Mutants still finding value, although they are starting to go down and this missile turret will finish. But another 10 workers killed and it's kept Pokebunny busy. It's kept him from focusing on the push at the top side, and it's now really forced him back as well because he can't push too much further forwards. Here we're going to be seeing Lings coming in from the right, but obviously as Pokebunny is there and paying attention, all he gets out of it is a stim, which still drains the energy from these medevacs. 4 on the way out from Pokebunny now as well. A couple more Widow Mines coming through. And this entire army of Pokebunny just setting up down towards the low ground. Lings and Ultras going to continue to work their way through these rocks. The rocks get taken down as well, and we're still just going to be seeing this Bioforce continue to set on up here from Pokebunny. I mean, JonSnow now into this later game scenario. The Ultras are up. We're going to be seeing Corruptors starting to be added into the playstyle as well. Some bits and pieces starting coming through here as we see, well, again, just the Mutants coming in and find themselves a couple of these SCVs. 4 drops down momentarily though and pushes those Mutants back without much issue. At this stage of the game, the Mutants don't have a lot to add, and he might even want to try and trade these Mutants out fairly shortly just to rebuild maybe into a few more Corruptors, just open up supply for units that will be a bit more useful in the overall fight. Uh-oh, well this is interesting because obviously right away here, oh, those Widow Mines are going to go off. It's some pretty big connections. JonSnow will back away from it. 1 Ultra going down, a lot of the Ling Bane falling. Immediately 3 more Ultras in production, and Viper as well being added in. A couple of Queens high on energy, full on energy in fact. Get taken down as Pokebunny will continue to push on forwards. 3-3 against 2-2 right now. The upgrade advantage in the Terran's favor, and that's something which will help them to engage. And that's why, again, JonSnow's going to look to try and buy time. Ling's going to come in. Planetary Fortress on that 4th, though. Well, he's actually going to come in from 2 different angles, from the right and the left. I mean, that's the sort of fight you dream of as a Zerg player. The full-on flank. Is it going to be enough? A couple of Liberators here picking away at these Ultras, but the Ultras have to clean out the tanks, otherwise they're going to take so much further damage. It looks as though it is going to be enough. The Queens and the Corruptor in the sky going to be able to get rid of the Libs, although now there's still a little bit of bio left over, and JonSnow, does he have enough to keep on fighting? Pokebunny's still pushing forwards. 1 Queen getting very low and maybe starting to go down. Some drones starting to fall in this 4th hatch. In trouble once again. Some new Ultras have popped. There isn't a lot to fight against them right now, and that might make the difference. Widow Mines get some good connections though. Pulling backwards here. Going to see this Ultra going to go. Sorry, these Ultras going to get rid of the 4. Pokebunny pushed away. A scary moment for JonSnow, but those extra Ultras coming out just in time to save the day. Well, that does actually make things so much more interesting here as the Ultras saving the day at the last moment. We see these Vipers in the skies consuming on those extractors. We're going to be seeing the Mutants coming back up top side. And if these Mutants coming up towards the top, we're going to be looking to just see where else they can go. Still a lot of bio gathering together from Pokebunny as well. Planetary Fortress setting up still on the 4th base, something you can always rally back towards.
in case he ever gets into a bit of trouble and just needs a few moments to recuperate. Unless the Zerg has a large advantage, you pretty much can never really engage into a planetary if that's where the Terran player is rallying. And that's the kind of real power of those planetary fortresses and sort of the rally pushes in general as a Terran. 3-3 about to finish up for our Zerg play, and that will make a big difference in these fights. These Ultras will be even tankier than before. And you can just see all the different pieces of tech starting to come into play from JonSnow. The Infest is coming out now as well. They're not going to have the pathogen glands right away, or they're not going to have the entry to fungal right away because they don't have pathogen glands. But I mean, it's the setup into what is just going to become more and more difficult for Pokebunny to deal with as time passes by. And now a run by in towards the third base as well. Pokebunny's starting to do a heck of a lot of damage. The Marines going down. Bio stimming in and coming in towards this mineral line. We're just going to be, well, 10 workers going down, right? So 10 workers picked off so far. Medivac lifts up, get a little bit of dancing, picks off that Zergling. So Zergling does go down, and now we see Ultras, Banes, Lings, and Mutas continue to come through the center of the map. Bio from Pokebunny, a 4 as well. Still over here, finally he's cleaned up his counter-attacks, and I mean, he's just struggling now. You know, you can see it in the supplies. And you can also see it in the kind of quality of army. He doesn't have Liberators here anymore. It's just Bio Mine with a 4 mixed in. It really isn't. It really isn't what it was before when he was pushing with a 3-3 over 2-2 advantage. Pokebunny has lost a lot of what he had going for himself previously, and JonSnow really has stabilized through a lot of difficult positions in this game. Number one, obviously so much on the line because he has to win this series 2-0 to advance through the group. See this Ultra coming in, and he will be swiping his way through these units over here. It will be a good defense as Lingers go into towards this base once again. This feels like such a typical sort of, you know, feels as though I've seen this game on repeat a few times lately because these Lings hitting this third base of Acolyte seems to happen in every ZvT on this map. Just keeps on happening. Kind of because there's no kind of defense set up over here, like no static defense, because you just expect the wall, and obviously it's a safe third base early on. It kind of gets punished later in the game when the Terran just continues to never build anything defensive or fails to continue to raise the wall in time. The Lightning Cloud going to hit the Planetary and going to hit some other units. The Fungal Growth maybe a bit preemptive on a few of those Bio units. You do see a lot of workers going down. Widow Mines are going off on the skies. I mean, the kind of Ultras burst through this Planetary Fortress. It looks as though he might be able to. You said you have to be very far ahead as a Zerg to push through the Planetary, and this really was what JonSnow was going into this fight. A couple of Liberators coming into play, but the Ultras will just move through the Liberation zones, and the Corruptors will do their jobs and clean it up. GG. JonSnow takes game 1 of this best of 3. Good enough to fight against later game Zerg. Pure Bio and just a few mines mixed in doesn't do the job. You need a higher number of Liberators. You need a higher number of Siege Tanks or something as well. Game number 2 here. Let's see what's going to happen. Still the chat favorite to the top left-hand side with a 60-40 score. Hashtag Pokebunny if you want to see our Purple Terran taking game number 2. Hashtag JonSnow if you want to see him taking this one to advance through the group. And he would do it in first place after everything. It's so crazy how cutthroat this is. He loses this map and he doesn't qualify. He wins this map and he goes to the playoffs with first place in his group. How ridiculous a situation is that? Really quite crazy. As we set up into this. Keep those hashtags coming in, guys. Keep the love rolling through as we set up into game 2 of the best of 3. What's up, Widow Mines? How you doing? Love you too. Don't have to say you love me every day, you know. You say me, you know. I remember. You have to remind me. I'm not that forgetful. We all love everyone anyways, right? We all love each other. And StarCraft too, right? We're a big StarCraft family. We all have that family love, that family bond. But serious note, guys, you guys have been pretty awesome tonight. It's been a really fun group to cast. The Roddy games were obviously really fun, really awesome to see Roddy doing well. It's actually been quite tense in this group as well, right down to the wire. It still is now to see who's going to advance. But, yeah, it really has been a great night. And thank you so much for the support. The Matcherino donations have been awesome. We've had the, you know, we've had resubs, we've had nude subs, we've had donations on the stream. It's been really fun. It's been a lot of support, and it's really awesome to see. So thank you guys. Really do appreciate it. We're almost back at 250 subscribers, which is awesome, because I didn't think we'd kind of stick around 250. I thought we'd kind of keep on dropping off back down towards maybe like 225-ish, but only 4 away from 250, so keeping the dream alive, sticking around 250 subs. The StarCraft casting dream is alive. Has Roddy already played? Yes, he has. If you missed the Roddy games, they are available on the Twitch VOD. You can check them out already if you want to. If you don't want to watch the end of the series, that's on right now, but obviously will be available after the stream as well, so you can check them out. Link's coming in here early off the pool first, and is there a pool first even? Or is it just a hatch gas pool that JonSnow's Reaper is a little bit out of position for? Kind of feels kind of really... No, there is pool first. It was pool first. He already has a queen out. That's what I got confused at. I looked at the production tab and I was like, no, I did. I looked at the structures tab to try and figure out where the queen was. I saw no queen, and I was like, oh, no queen. So it is hatch gas. So I was really confused. Obviously, the queen is in the units tab, not the structures tab, Wardy. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. I've been casting for the last... It's not been that bad, 9 hours or so. We casted the WSG Polish qualifier before this. Can't a man expand in peace? Pokebunny's a funny guy. Him and Roddy have been providing some good little quips of laughter in between the games today. I do, says JonSnow. Funny stuff. Alright, well, reaping a couple of Hellions here. Coming in towards the center, pushing around. Nothing too crazy going on just yet. You see the Banshee on the way out from Pokebunny too. Just a couple more Hellions looping around to the left-hand side. 4 Hellions and a Reaper over here, and just going to be seeing that third hatchery still coming up from JonSnow as well. A few Zerglings just sat out front of the natural expansion. Going to be seeing this Queen actually going to start taking some damage, so some hits coming down. Going to see the Queen blasted away. Again, Pokebunny just going to poke and prod and see what he can get up to. Going into a Cloak Banshee behind this, but also Stim on the way, so not going to commit into an armor or anything. It's not going to be much more than these initial 6 Hellions. We need to start the third command center as well, so gets that set up and gets that going. So you can see still those Zerglings coming around the top side. We're just going to be seeing the Hellions pushing through. Pokebunny looking to see if he can just do some more damage. He's going to find, well, a couple of lava. Ooh, saves one, but it'll be a cancel on that drone, I think, right? It's going to be okay for now. A couple of Lings across the map. Not many, though. Not really enough to force the Hellions back. JonSnow. I mean, Pokebunny just pulling them back anyways, I guess. Just doesn't want to lose them while he's maybe distracted elsewhere. Trying to control the Banshee at the same time, but it's going to be pushed back. Not any damage done just yet here by Pokebunny in the early stages. Roach is on the way from JonSnow, actually. A lair has been seen. Is there a plan for this? I mean, there's no Roach speed, right? There's no Roach speed coming up. Is this just going to be like a big Roachling all-in or something? I see this Banshee again pushed away. I mean, he's going to start a Drop-A-Lord, so he's just going to go like a Roach Queen all-in. Obviously, if we can get rid of this first Banshee, that would be huge. But Pokebunny, when does he realize maybe that this is happening? It's kind of a tough one to see happening, actually, because there's not a lot you can really pick up on. Maybe the lack of the upgrade in Roachron and Evo. It's kind of rough. The Drop-A-Lord is here now, and he kind of still has to keep these Queens here, though, to kind of keep pushing the Banshees back. Although this Banshee getting very low. Does not go down, though. Does not go down. Roach is going to start pushing the Hellions away. Siege Tank on the way up. The issue with the Siege Tank is that it can be dropped on top of, and that's obviously one of the big things about the Queens here. This Drop-A-Lord needs to keep on moving, though, from JonSnow. He needs to get this across the map. One Banshee south side hasn't done too much. This Banshee did a bit as well. They're actually going to pull back as well. Now some Corrosive Bowels are going to be getting set up as well with those Ravagers. Still a few Roaches and Lings pushing forwards. Lings should stay back, let the Roaches do the tanking against those Hellions. And this Siege Tank has to be very careful with how it positions itself, because if it's just too far forwards, it can just be Corrosive Bowels very, very quickly. JonSnow going to realize there is a Siege Tank here, and nice by Pokebunny. He's correct to pull the Siege Tank back, because he really can't afford to just go down too quickly. Again, the Banshees are going to be a bit of a nuisance, but here come the Queens and the Drop-A-Lord, and actually the Banshees are going to get dropped on top of this and Overseer next to it. And while the Banshees were adding some good damage here initially, it isn't enough to continue on. And so now I think the Queens are going to try and soak up the first tank shot here, as the Ravagers and Roaches will push on forwards. There's a lot of Marines. Stimpack is finished. Just working his way through this depot at the moment. JonSnow putting everything on the line for this, this all-in. Everything on the line, because if he doesn't win this game, his tournament life is over. And here we go. Corrosive Bowels have to be good here. They have to drop on top of these Siege Tanks sooner rather than later. He's taking a long time to hit these initial Corrosive Bowels, I feel. I feel as though Pokebunny is maybe starting to defend. He pulls back a little bit. Corrosive Bowels again. He just can't get towards that next Siege Tank, though. The Ravager number is starting to go lower and lower. And JonSnow... Is this enough? I don't think so. I think these Ravagers are backing away, and yeah, the Siege Tanks were able to hold strong. A few more Lings coming forward to keep on trying to fight it, but JonSnow pushed back. 1-1 upgrades in play for Pokebunny. He defends this all in. And Pokebunny now will take a lead in this game, and now JonSnow is in a little bit of a tough situation. Marine's going to sim on forwards. We're going to see the Lings, and they're starting to melt pretty quickly here. The Roach is going to go down too. Pokebunny's going to chase this. And again, the upgraded advantage is definitely there. This all in of JonSnow has not worked. What went wrong for him? At what point did this fall off? You can see that massive dip in army. I think just not getting the Biles onto that second siege tank top side. The Marines just never seem to go down either. And now all of a sudden JonSnow is on the verge of elimination. Pokebunny wins this map, and he is going to top this group. But not just that, he eliminates JonSnow to send Jig through in second place. The game is called, and Pokebunny eliminates JonSnow. Have any impact on the finals of this group now? JonSnow just playing out of custom and out of mana to give us the final game of the final best of 3 of the night. Pokebunny will finish this group in first place, and Pokebunny finishing this group in first will be able to, well, I mean, what a shock that is, right? Maybe not a massive shock, but it really does put him into such a great position. The problem is JonSnow, even if he wins this now 2-1, he'll be the same map score as Jig, and he lost to Jig in the head-to-head, and so there's no way JonSnow can advance. And Pokebunny, because JonSnow doesn't advance, he will, no matter what now, finish ahead of Jig in the head-to-head as well. And so he is going to be finishing first place in this group. Jig in second in this last game. Just a custom, so let's just sit back, enjoy the StarCraft, and see what happens. Top right-hand side, our purple Terran player. He was the chat favorite. He's done it. He's topped his group. It's Pokebunny from Sloth Esport Club. Bottom left, the red Zerg player from Psystorm Gaming. It's JonSnow. Unfortunate to see JonSnow eliminated, but that's the way it goes. And O2 lost to Jig, changed everything, put it all on a 2-0 here, and obviously it didn't go his way. Didn't go his way at all. Set up here. We're going to see what will be happening. In our final game of the night, guys. Again, thank you so much for joining us all. It's been a great stream. Hopefully you guys have all been enjoying. I've been having a great time. And again, hopefully you guys have been as well. Hopefully you guys have all been having a lot of fun. And a lot of good games. Yeah, it's been a really awesome group tonight, guys. If you missed the WardiTV games, I really do advise going back and watch them, because it's been really quite tremendous as we see these Lings coming up here. JonSnow just looking to apply some pressure early with the first few Zerglings. Run in, this Marine going to take a little bit of damage, and the SCV going to be falling as well. So actually this is kind of nice. JonSnow doing quite a bit of damage here as we're going to be seeing those Lings. You pick that Marine off. Hellions about to pop. I mean, it's a bit of a frustrating start, but the Hellions will clean up and will allow this game to continue fairly normally from this point on. More SCVs just coming down the low ground, and again some more drones just mining away on the natural. Actually a second factory finishing up, so Pokebunny going to go with the second reactor as well. Hellion Cyclone in the early stages. Going to play very differently to what we've seen him playing so far today. Man, you know, if Pokebunny wins this, he goes 3-0 in the group, and that really would be one heck of, he's topped the group no matter what. But to top it with a 3-0 really would be one heck of a showing from him. You see 2 Hellions, 2 Cyclones on the way out. Setting up here on the natural expansion, walling off, etc. We'll see what JonSnow's going to use to set up against the Hellion Cyclone attack. Probably going to be armory as well. Get some Hellbats going. We'll make this army just that little bit more powerful, of course, heading forwards, moving through. Just going to have the and it's going to just dive in, just a single drone. They're going to be very careful, though. Pulling back pretty quickly. Nothing really too ridiculous. A few more Hellions still coming in. I think the one thing that JonSnow doesn't see, though, is the second factory. No, he did see it, actually. So he did see this coming in. He does have a reasonable idea of what this is going to be. Again, no armory just yet. Oh, I like this Link counterattack, but the Cyclone will stay behind the wall, and he will be able to deflect. Now the Cyclone going to try and join up as well. Oh, Pokebunny's going to pull back. I don't think he should. I think he should go for it. Rotron feels very late here right now from JonSnow, and so if Pokebunny attacks, Well, JonSnow might have a little bit of a diff time holding on. Another Hellion or two on the way out, and they will be able to clean up these Zerglings without much issue. Again, Pokebunny should just focus on pushing forwards before the Roaches come into play. Let's see what he can do. He's going to push on forwards. Here come the Cyclones as well. Cyclones against the Queens will be one of the big things here, as we see the Hellions will want to just clean up the Zerglings, stop the kind of Lings from taking their way through the Cyclones kind of quickly and stop the Cyclones from wasting the damage on those lower health units. Just going to be seeing the Queens pulling back in towards the third base a little bit. Going to see the drones, depots being dropped once again. Lings coming up to the right-hand side. Let's see what else they can do. Still a lot of units to the far left. And more units rallying over. Roaches are now on the way up. These Lings counter-attack, and we'll see what they can do as Pokebunny starts to throw down the third CC. Still just looking to poke and prod. And again, no armory, so he could have got the Hellbats up a bit earlier, perhaps. Made a bit of a stronger push of this initially, but... well... see what's going to happen next. A few Roaches pushing forwards. There's so many Cyclones here now, though. JonSnow has to be very careful that he's actually got enough units to fight this. The Cyclones actually ripping their way through these Roaches. Some transfusions starting to come on down. The Lings being on the wrong side of the map is obviously not great, because it means they're not doing a very good job tanking, because they're not tanking at all. Now they start to run on in. SCV is actually repairing these Roaches as well. Hellions don't really have anywhere to kite to, because they're actually going to have to kite into Roaches and Queens if they want to get away from the Zerglings. It's a bit of an awkward spot. JonSnow is going to be able to just about push this away. And it's going to be those units pushed up the left-hand side. So these units of Pokebunny pushed up the left, a few workers going down, and a few more units of Pokebunny setting up in the natural expansion. 1-1 upgrades still coming in. The missile upgrades going through here. The Cavalry Constitution Roach Speed. This is going to be continued mech play from Pokebunny. We see the +1 weapons coming up on the armory already, so sliding up in towards that. A few more depots just going to lower themselves here, and again, Hellions and Cyclones gathering together. Let's see what's next. A few Roaches taking the charge up the left side. Still just Hellions and Cyclones in production. No movement away in towards the next stage of this. He's actually going to even out on a third reactor. So at the stage of the game where you probably expect tanks to set restart build, it's actually going to be a straight up still commitment to Hellions and Cyclones. Pokebunny, I mean, I say this is a bit of a meme build perhaps, but actually I saw Innovation doing this. I can't remember, was it against Snoot perhaps? I think it was against Snoot in the Team Liquid map contest tournament that we made and that we casted, and it was, I think Innovation did lose the game, but it was obviously a very serious kind of play style. He built like 5 factories worth of reacted, he had 5 reacted factories, I think. It was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy. Hellion's going to loop around left side, see what they can get up to, see what they can maybe do here. As we do just see them taking the watchtower momentarily. A lot of Roaches from JonSnow going up the right-hand side. Some Ravagers going to start morphing in. Pushing up in this direction. Going to hit this orbital on the far right. A lot of Cyclones here. Can the Cyclone numbers deal with this amount of Roaches, though? I guess we're going to find out. No +1 attack upgrade just yet. I think that makes a big difference, actually. Having +1 Carapace really, because it decreases every single attack, and Cyclones attack a lot, but very quickly. It means that he's, it means that he's already going to be, a lot of kind of decreased damage output basically, because the armor is soaking up an extra shot, so much damage every single shot that's fired. +1 vehicle weapons completing does help kind of fix that up. You can see the difference already. Those Roaches suddenly going down so much faster once again. JonSnow getting pushed away. As we're going to see Cyclones locking onto the Overseer. Still pushing us back. 5 Cyclones currently being made at a time. Again, Hellions and Cyclones just still pushing those Roaches and Ravagers away from this. We're seeing 2 upgrades coming in right now from JonSnow as well. Going to be seeing, again, these rocks over this right-hand side starting to be picked away at too. Rocks going down. So half health already, and again, still these Hellions and Cyclones going to keep on pushing forward. So let's see what else is going to happen. Very aggressive push here, even pulling some SCVs to repair these units as they go. The big issue is that these units kind of clump themselves up a lot, and that makes it very difficult. Wow, he's pulled all the boys! Oh god, well, the problem is they kind of have these units which kind of are very difficult to split away from the corrosive bars. I think that might be one of the big issues. JonSnow with a lot of units around the top side. These SCVs are tanking for so long here. Is it going to be enough though? I don't think so. I think Pokebunny's going to lose out on these Cyclones in the end. The full surround by JonSnow, as we are going to be seeing these Ravagers cleaning this up. GG, says Pokebunny. JonSnow takes the series, but unfortunately in the end he still is alive.